Now we move on to pivot points. What are pivot points? Pivot points are basically objective support and resistance, as we studied earlier, support and resistance. Drawn according to price action, where the highest point, where the price reverses, the lowest point, where the price reverses, or where the price has stalled. You basically have to draw this by observing. This is subjective to your view. This is our subjective pivot point. What is it? A pivot point is an objective view. What is an objective view? It means that it mathematically calculates points by taking the previous day's high and low, and those points will also give you your pivot points.
It will also give you support and resistance.
So that is how we use pivot points, and all traders use them, and it is quite popular. People use it a lot. So we go into its depth, we try to understand its formula in depth. Now the slide has come up in front of me. How do we calculate the pivot point? Very simple formula. Thing to think about. We have add the previous day's high, the previous day's low, and the previous day's close together and divide by 3. When we divide it by 3, we get the pivot point. Pivot point. Meaning, when we are above this point, we are bullish. When we are below this point, we are bearish. After this, finding its support and resistance levels is also very easy. We multiply the pivot point by 2 and subtract it from the low. You will get time 1. Similarly, to find support 7, to find support 1, the pivot point was multiplied by 2, subtracted high from it and 7. Then, when we have to find R2, we have to do pivot point plus high minus low. We will get our R2. To find 7, we have to do pivot point minus high minus low. We get 7, very simple. We have to find it in this process. We have R3 high plus 2. Subtract the low from the pivot point. Similarly, in 3, we subtract low minus 2 high minus pivot point. This is a very simple formula. You don't need to look at price action. There's nothing to do. You just have to calculate. This method, the method normally provides you with support and resistance. Why do people use it? Oh, because they do not have experience in chart trading. Because I prefer myself that we draw subjectively, support and resistance. But why is it preferred that there is no experience with the original chart? They want an easy way out, so they have created a method for calculating this. This also works for most people. So how to use them in trading? There are different ways to trade in trading. First, we have the way to trade inside a range. Now, what is in a range? For example, we are in a range. What have we done? We know the market is in a range. We have to sell at the resistance level and buy at the support level. What should the target be? If we bought at 7, then PP will be our target, the pivot point. If we sold at R1, what will our target be? Our target will be PP, and where will our stop loss be? The next support or resistance will be below or above. This is very easy to do it. Then this is trading within the range. Next, we have the way to do it using breakout trading. How do we use it in breakout trading? For example, the price had R3 as resistance. Once it closed above it, we knew the resistance would break. So what will we do? We are entering and will also take our profit. And this method we call aggressive. There are two ways to trade with them, aggressive and passive, which we discussed earlier. While trading previous support and resistance, we discussed that there are two ways to trade them. One is aggressive, one is passive. Aggressive is when we broke R1 and then came back and touched 1. We were buying from there. Or for example, we broke R3. We came back and will buy at 3.